Hello everyone, welcome back to Feedback Loop. For those of you who are unfamiliar with what Feedback Loop is, we are a playtest D&D stream where everyone here is playtesting various new subclasses that we here at Tabletop Gaming Center are producing for an upcoming project. If you would like to post about the show, live tweet, share fan art, etc., you can do so using hashtag FeedbackLoopTGC. We would also like to thank Travis Savoy for all of the amazing music that you'll be hearing tonight. You can find his whole collection on Bandcamp, as well as Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube as RPG Music Maker. My name is Ryan. I'm your DM tonight. My pronouns are he, him. Let's start with our player introductions, shall we? Val.
Hey, I'm Val. I use he, they pronouns. Gotcha.
Hi, my name is Chris. I use he, him pronouns.
Hey everyone, my name is Angel and I use they, he pronouns.
Hi, I'm Matt. I use he, him pronouns.
No, here. He, him.
I'm Ant. I use she, her pronouns.
All right. So, welcome to our second campaign of Feedback Loop.
Let's go.
Allow me to set the scene.
Paint a picture with your words, Ryan.
Welcome, one and all, to the grand continent of Ecuathoria. 50 years ago, a group of heroes saved not only the continent, but the world from a deranged quasi-deity inadvertently looking, well, to bring about everyone's worst nightmare. However, our heroes vanquished that vile being. However, peace does not last.
Thanks, Ash.
The continent is scarred by a war 20 years in the past from the day that we start. One that spanned the entire continent and has the record for the most tragedy and loss felt on all sides. We start in the nation of Eldurus, a small kingdom, but one that holds great power in the continent, leading in both scientific advancement, artifice, and industry. We don't start in a large city. Instead, we find ourselves looking at a bird's-eye view of Blackwood, a small town founded around a fort that goes by the same name. People here are enjoying a simple life. You go to work, you get paid, you enjoy your family, you enjoy your time. Element.
Yes.
You are in your chambers, dressing in uniform. You've just been given an assignment from your father.
I have someone do that for me.
Would you like to give us a description of your character?
Oof, I have not. I'm unaware of the how the official uniform looks. I imagine it's military uniform.
If it's your military uniform, it's got a lot of almost a sapphire blue is the main color with a ruby red streaked throughout.
That'd be appropriate for this.
Yes.
Than that, but otherwise, fairly unassuming at first glance. Medium build, slightly on the tall side. fair-haired, and looks like I take care of myself based on manner.
And you are
Half elf.
Yeah. So, it's as you're straightening up your uniform, looking in the mirror, that you hear the door squeak open, and as you look over your shoulder, you see your son. Dad? Why are you dressing funny again?
Dally. Morning.
Morning,
I have something important this morning. I promise I'll be back a little later. It is...
Is this grown-up stuff?
It's some bad news grown-up stuff. And you don't have to worry about it.
Alright, I'm gonna go play catch.
That sounds great.
And as he runs off with his feet just pitter-pattering down the hall, the maid sticks her head in. I'm so sorry, my lord. He's getting quite fast.
Great.
I suppose so. Which way did he go?
Oh, well, I was in here, so I wasn't looking out there.
Apologies, my lord.
Better.
Oh, no problem.
And she'll just bow and close the door. Now, you are wearing your finest. You know the news that you have to deliver. Your best guess of where you can find them? Well, at least one of their kids has to be thinking about joining the competition for the festival.
When is the festival competition?
So the competition takes place the same day as the festival, which is coming up on the 30th of the month. Today is the 27th.
Okay.
So people are able to practice, spar, kind of get an idea of what their standings might be. The competition is a melee tournament. Anyone who wants to test their mettle, no magic allowed, but anyone who wants to see if they can take a hit or deal one out, it's welcome to join, and it's a not insignificant cash prize. It's about 50 gold, I believe.
So I probably know where their farm is, but I would want to collect
Yeah,
the son if possible. Is that right? Or
it's more of trying to find where the parents might be.
okay, if they're not home type of thing.
Yeah. And very few people are home at this time of day
Right.
with this much going on. And as you head out, we get a wider shot of the town of Blackwood. The town is alive. People are getting ready.
Like your brother.
Splowers!
People are getting ready for
Right?
No, that's my news.
people are getting ready for a festival. Sorry. People are getting ready for a festival to do a bunch of market stalls, selling goods, selling wares, some festival games, the like. We come across Dante. You've somehow managed to get Cassius to stop pointing that gun at you and actually listen to one of your ideas,
All right.
as
So
they're relatively new in town.
right. So
Dante, would you like to describe what you look like?
So you see a pretty precocious, younger, but still like built about medium height, tiefling, green tiefling, like almost like deeper than sea green-ish, with this red hair that's kind of like cut on one side and sort of leaves over like as a sort of curly red hair going down. And they have poled horns, not like outwards, but poled, and they're wearing kind of peasant wear in the classic sense, but trying to get a little bit of color in there just to try to and I'm just talking just obviously verbose for no reason. Right, so hear me out. All right, so we sell water included in everything. Right? You said you sell what again?
Boats.
What do you need for a boat?
The boat.
Well, sure, but what else do you need?
The deed to the boat.
Right,
which
and
I
then
haven't
what do you use a boat for? Actually, I'm asking you.
Merriment.
All right.
As you guys are having this conversation, Cassius, would you like to describe what you look like?
Yeah, so you've got this, just shy of, like 30s-ish, I'd say actually like mid-30s-ish, Wanti, so very reptilian in feature, very snake-like. Some Wanti are very humanoid in nature. He sticks out because he is this sort of slate bluish color. These piercing yellow eyes. He's decently dressed, but in the way that you can tell he's been wearing this a lot and is getting worn out. You know, he's got this very worn out leather coat that goes very low, this suit that's clearly starting to wear out, and he's kind of just overall got the vibes of a very tired, unkempt kind of guy who's attempting to look slightly less, but not that hard. And he looks unamused right now.
I call it boat water. What do you think? It's kind of cool. It's like, right? Boat, water. Huh? You sell them both at the same time. What do you think?
I think we got off on the wrong foot. I run a respectable business.
Right, I'm saying.
Selling boats.
Right.
And you're trying to sham people to buy
Whoa.
water.
It's not a sham,
So-
right? I mean,
Cassius, you've been entertaining him while steering him towards the arena pit.
where are we going?
Oh, no, we're just walking and talking
You're
to you.
Right. I agree.
While he may not have the best ideas, he does have one idea right. Festival's a good place to make money.
Selling
Always.
boat water.
People are selling that all the time.
So how much are we, like
Like a
lots
cup
of
or-
ocean? A cup.
Sure. You need water for
And
a
you
boat.
expect people not to just laugh in our faces and...
Well, if they laugh, isn't that good for business?
No.
Making people laugh is business, right?
And
Are you
as
selling
you-
jokes?
You can also do that.
As you continue to direct him, the pit. You know, or you've at least heard, a lot of people take bets on the side on who will win. Might not be a bad idea to scout out who's competing. Might be able to rig a thing or two, come out on top.
How can I ask how many have I been to these tournaments before? Have I been to
Oh yeah, this is a yearly thing.
yearly thing? Okay. Oh right, the sort of Colosseum here. Oh man, same people in every year. It's not even fun.
So...
I always know what's going to happen. It's like best in the biz, right?
Yeah.
Sort of
Yeah. Okay.
normal around
How do
here.
you know what's going to happen?
You have to have the eye for it. You have to have the sort of thing right. It's,
And as you guys enter the seating area, just to really see who's sparring.
I think it's called a vomitorium, sir. Thanks. As I say that out loud.
Vomit.
The bleachers.
Vomitorium?
I'm saying that in character.
It is a
Smart
hole
guy.
dug in the ground reinforced with wooden walls. you do notice a familiar face in the pit,
Ooh.
along with someone you have not seen around town, or at least not more than a day.
Focus another one.
Now, Rennial and Koski, how would you describe your characters? But please do so with the knowledge that you are absolutely beating each other up.
You go first.
So maybe the camera looms over your character first, because panning down, they definitely see your character, and just remember who you're beating up on. Like what do we have on their face?
on
On
Cosmic?
yeah, as he's kind
So you see a very large minotaur. He is middle-aged. He's kind of graying. He's got kind of a graying mane. He has a scar, very scarred face, but big scar going through one eye. It's whited out. It's pretty clear that he can't see out of that side. But he's still absolutely pummeling you.
right.
Hear like rubber duck sounds.
Yeah. Yeah, you're making
doesn't?
like squeaky noise
Yeah.
sounds.
And to be fair, the person being pummeled on, this very diminutive, like imagine a Loxodon, but he has the proportion of like a baseball mascot. So just huge head, but very lithe, like humanoid features. He has a mop of red hair that between blows, he's using his trunk and his like ears to kind of flop out. And he's just like, just really just doing their best to like catch up, block when he can. And maybe the reason why you are like not holding back is because like he's just like, that was a great one. This is fed. Just like, wait, should I have dodged that one? That was just and it's just he's just being like throttled, and the entire time it's like he's not. It's not that he's not feeling the pain, but it's just like he's like mentally taking notes, just like, okay, maybe if I approach from where he can't see me. And it's just fully a lot of just him talking to himself and more strategizing, not realizing that he's just being absolutely like throttled. And can the scene end with you like you holding me up?
Oh, and like
He's like-
throwing you into the boards like a hockey game, like just check you into the boards.
Just a comedically elephant-shaped hole.
Into the trunk of it.
That's your friend?
Try not to cry.
Oh. Oh, it's. Wait. Right.
Well, I was going to say maybe we could throw the match, but I see how you know who's going to win every time.
Kyetana,
Oh no.
you managed to walk up behind these two, discussing the misfortune of your son quite openly. You do. And what does Kyetana look like?
Towering over
So
the both of
Kyetana is a 8-foot, like light bluish. Yeah.
God.
Like dark bluish elephant person in this world, like a Fentari, and so she's got long black hair that's starting to go gray. It's curly. She's got brown eyes. She wears lots of jewelry and makeup. She wears clothes with very vibrant colors. So you'll see her with like a dark red shirt and a skirt on. She has big old chancletas to fit her elephant feet, and yeah, she's wearing lots of gold earrings, cuffs around her tusk, etc. She's always a little dolled up, and so you can tell she's a bit of an older woman, and she's got that kind of stare that like she's seen things, but like she's rocking a smile, and well, she would be usually. What's the exact? They were saying a lot of things. So what am I overhearing?
Me going. Oi. when we see
me
Rennial
getting
go
throttled.
through, I'm like, oi.
I'm still in. I didn't touch the ground. I'm gonna try if there's like a out of bounds thing. I'm gonna try to push off the wall where she threw me off.
So are we out of like right outside the stage? Is there like a
You're in a
audience?
viewing section
Viewing
where you
section.
can look down into the pit.
Okay.
You see me pummeling your son.
So she's fully just like not paying attention to the people around her. She's
Right.
like going down the stairs or whatever there is and like trying to like enter the arena, but is like gated off.
Yeah, it's gated off. It's meant have 2 people in there at a time, just one-on-one.
So
Now,
so she's getting as close as she possibly can to the 2 fighting and just like, baby, please, just get out. You're doing great, sweetie, but just leave. Just run away.
Mom?
You did a great job.
Oh, now I'm hearing
I'm hearing
things.
this.
Stop beating on my son before I. And then just
Yeah. You,
words, lots of words.
Maybe just lots of words.
Are you hearing that too? Mom. Mom.
Mom.
And then he's gonna go back to like blocking because I imagine you're not giving me any breath
No,
to just like.
I'm gonna just head down, horn, not goring you, but horns shoving you to the other side of the arena now.
Just. I fully imagine this was Rennial's idea to have both
Yeah,
of
for
us.
sure.
Yeah, just like and you.
I assumed so.
Oh,
that's why I
Koski is just in disbelief that you would even think about sparring with him after seeing what he did to that bear.
Yeah.
Me, your mother, is just hysterical and just crying for you to leave and crying for you to stop and just like
Noises.
in a very threateningly way, but just sounds like she's desperate. So like,
and
Oh, that's all that's happening.
while you're doing so, your husband comes up. Oh, don't worry, dear. She'll land a hit eventually.
you know it's not safe for him out there.
I flip him the other way.
Although,
Do you see his opponent?
Do you watch him fly by rotating in the air like a cartoon character?
it's a saying he keeps saying, the bigger they are,
And
What if he gets pierced by one of those horns?
And then Rennial finishes that.
Oh my
The harder they fall. And I'm just at your knee, like the blind side, just.
He's gonna get hit, one of his eyes poked out with one of those horns.
Nice.
his tusks are coming in, dear. He can try. Go for the eye.
That's
They
great.
only got one of them.
That's a great time.
Wow.
Yes, Papa. You're gonna go for the eyes, right?
I imagine Koski's just holding Rennial at
Yeah.
an arm's length.
We're like out like this.
Are there specific rules about not like interfering with the fight?
It can get someone disqualified.
What about if I secretly use magic?
It's if you get caught.
So I think Estiano would just kind of like see me just like taking a chunk left off my
And
foot
he's just-
and just like
He's putting a hand on your wrist. No, dear.
Can I come over and encourage it?
You got this, son.
We've been at this for 15 minutes. If you disqualify me, I'd be livid. My other tusk is over there.
If I cast, what if I cast healing magic on Koski?
Again,
Wouldn't
if you
that-
get caught,
But I mean I wouldn't get disqualified. Technically.
Oh, it's the
Technically, yeah, it's the thing that last
beneficial,
year.
it's a beneficial magic gambit.
Because,
Of
I
course.
mean, it worked last time, guys.
Yeah, this is a cutscene.
so it's while you're all figuring out what to do,
Just
and
we can.
Cassius, it is very clear who, amongst any of the combatants you've seen over the past couple days sparring, it's night and day who would
It's
win.
the big beef man.
Element.
Yes.
You stopped by the farm just to do your due diligence, but they weren't home. The trumpeting that you're hearing from inside the pit.
Clue.
Yes. At least one of them's here. And as you enter, that's the scene you see before you.
Oh, it might just be
Just
like
all of it at once.
by the trunk. This.
Meanwhile, Mom is trying to throw a chancleta, and these two are just looking at this with dollar signs in their eyes.
I'm looking for a different reason. I'm looking for a moment to like get in with the magic,
Oh
like,
my god.
and then I'm looking over. Just,
Wait. We can do this better. I see you like sizzling up a
or
healing word in your hand.
Throwing a whole bunch of stuff together, and you're
No,
like,
no, wait.
I also take notes.
with a gun.
I also take notes for the betting ring.
All right.
It's like 51 odds on the elephant kit.
yeah, true. I bet all my money on that.
So, you do see those who you were sent to the farm. What do you...
I would first approach the parents, Kyetana, who we'll see on the sideline, and then probably then realize,
Estiana?
and see this going on. Hey, could you stop?
Is this loud enough to get our attention, or am I still just tossing?
You probably toss him one more time, and then it's as you're walking over, you're seeing someone trying to like
Okay.
flag you down.
Hey,
Not yielding. No, you stop.
no, they're yielding. They're yielding.
It's a draw, technically!
I'll reach a hand out to help you get up.
it's fully just.
I go, get him now!
And I go for like a bear hug, but it just looks like I'm hugging you to like stay up. And maybe that's when I pass out.
Oh god.
You're passed out
Oh,
in the ring, or outside of the ring?
Semi-exhaustion, just like.
I think the well-dressed man wants your attention.
Elephant
Yes.
with the trunk.
And I don't know where we are. I assume.
We can say ringside.
Yeah. I assume Mother might be going towards barely standing son at this point.
Did I win?
I would as well.
Oh,
I'm
Um,
walking straight
the-
towards him.
Father Estiano would as well. He is a physician.
We'll go talk
Yeah.
to that guy. You guys have no whatever.
Did I win?
You did
Is
great,
that
son.
Oh, it was a draw.
Nice.
You gonna lie to? Okay.
What is it, my lord?
I
it's so
was hoping we might be able to go somewhere more private.
Who? As in we.
Yourself, your husbands, and since your son is here,
Have we done something wrong?
absolutely not.
Well, you must know what it seems like. The Baron's son coming here, telling us that we need to speak in private. It's very strange.
Mom, should we call our lawyer?
So what is it?
I'm right here.
How public is this?
It's like,
These are the only people here.
oh, and like we're in this ringside. We're like.
Yeah,
under the
like it's still
bleachers.
pretty early afternoon. Usually people will start coming here after they've had a couple drinks in the evening. Settle
Okay, so
some
it's not like a big
differences.
show or anything. It's just like sparring
Okay.
Yeah,
partners.
this is just
Oh,
the
preliminary.
big show is not until day of the festival.
Yeah.
Okay.
If it's not that public, then.
Hmm.
All right. Hello. I hope you're all okay. I
Knocking
have
sand out of his
some unfortunate news I have to share. It is related to why you were asked to not come into work today. We unfortunately have found your son, Caesar.
Cesar.
Cesar.
Mm-hmm.
She's staring at you.
Yeah, and then so is Rennial just like.
Dead. Recently.
It can't be. He's at work right now. You must have the wrong person.
And Rennial
Um,
collapses like next to you, just
I
like
got
still
that.
trying to pay attention.
On that note, we currently have Corey, your apprentice, doing the autopsy, and we would very much appreciate if you could come with me to verify the identity.
Estiano, explain to him. Cesar's at work right now. There's no way. He must have the wrong person. It can't be.
Dear, I was asked not to come into work today.
It's just a day off, you know? You've been working so hard lately, and maybe you just seem tired, you know? He has a scar right on the side of his face, like, and, you know, I just saw him this morning. He was wearing a blue coat. Like, it must be the wrong person.
Where?
What did he look like? It couldn't have been him.
Lord Ope. Is you wish for us to come see him to confirm?
Yes, please, if you can. I wanted to tell you all at the same time, if this is difficult for your family, of course, I understand. At least one of you would really have to come with me, but you are all welcome if you are up to it.
Should someone tell Marcelina?
Dear, would you prefer that I go round up the other children or accompany you?
No. I still feel like this must be a mistake, but let's save them from seeing him this way. Let's confirm the details. Let's figure this out. Let's sort this out, and then we can tell the others. Rennial, can you go get Marcelina and the kids? Well, no, leave the kids. Leave the kids with someone.
And he's like, he fully is like trying his best to get up. Like you have to like.
I got it.
Tell her it must be some mistake, but let her know that the Baron's son has come
Where are we?
and share this information. Just
Where?
go to the house. We'll
Where
meet
do
you
we
there.
meet At the
At the morgue.
The morgue, yes, where your
Yes.
father works.
Yes, the morgue.
And it's just
My office, son.
it's just wordlessly.
Yeah.
Yes,
No.
Mom.
Yeah.
And then he's just gonna look like to you guys. Just like,
Excuse me. Sorry,
So
I
basically,
don't know your
you
names.
pretend to lose after the. Oh, hello.
Look, I,
Cassius pretending to listen, polishing
I-
his hooves.
I can tell you. Can you just keep an eye on my son? He likes to wander, and I'm scared where he'll go if this does turn out to be.
Oh,
True.
yes, of course. Yeah.
He may be concussed, which may be my fault, so I will help.
I appreciate you. I think.
Is this up front or no? Wrong time. I'm sorry. Just you. But no.
it's a verbal contract.
I'll yeah, and he'll just pull out a notebook, and
It's an IOU.
it's full Dr. Chicken Scratch. You can't read it at all.
All right. Yeah. Absolutely. We will see to it your son is cared for.
I appreciate it. You seem to be a friend of Dante's. That's the
Oh.
only reason I'm
Yes,
really
he's
asking.
like my protege, you could say. Dante, watch your friend.
Shall we, dear?
We're halfway out.
Yeah,
I know.
I'm walking up. I'll turn to you and I'll be like, Lara, I'll take care of it.
It has to be a misunderstanding, but I think Rennial would appreciate you being here.
All right.
Oh. Wait, what does Caesar do for a living? Like, what do we know
Cesar?
his job is?
So he would be just a farm worker,
Yeah.
but I believe like the rest of us. So but he went out of town into the town this morning just to get some things.
Yeah.
So he was just out and about.
Dante, that can't be right. I just saw him this morning.
We don't know anything yet. I'm not going to assume anything. That's what the confirmation is for.
What are we doing getting Marcelina then? We should just.
I don't know.
So you four head off, and Elman, you escort the parents to the morgue. You enter the cellar. It is cold. It is brightly lit by lamps and torches. There is a ammonia-like scent to the air. Maybe I should look first.
Yeah. It must be a mistake. Just take a look and tell me what you see.
My lord, will you wait here with her while I go check?
Of course. Kyetana is fully just pacing and just murmuring to herself and just very anxious, and she's also waiting for the others to arrive.
And he'll enter into a different chamber, a chamber where the actual autopsies would be conducted. And you start hearing...
What do you mean? No, he's got me. No!
And a shouting match starts to happen on the other side of the door.
I think at this moment it's just Kyetana just crying, just sobbing, just by the door, not wanting to enter.
Well, for a handkerchief.
She'll grab it, but just hold it to her side.
He will exit the operating theater that is this morgue, and he will embrace you. And
She'll start to cry into his shoulder, and she'll just, Sienna, we can't do this again. Not again. Parents should never have to bury their child. Why us? Twice. And she's just sobbing.
and he is very stoic. He's not saying much. He's more just focusing on you. And it's about half an hour before you would arrive with your retinue as well as the rest of the family.
Right.
Kyetana's trying to level out her breathing, and she's rubbing the tears away with a handkerchief, and she'll just grab Marcelina by the hand and just give her a solemn look. And
Is Caesar in the other room?
He is, only your father has gone to see him so far.
Okay, so while all this is happening, like, maybe Rennial will take advantage of the fact that, like, everyone else is busy distracting you. He's gonna try to, like, duck away and go see Caesar and his brother.
Whoa, I got paid
I-
probably
I-
some money.
Give me a stealth check.
I'm
What?
coming with
I
you.
was
It's-
also
it's-
gonna
it's
say
fully
that I was
just-
gonna walk Marcelina in there, but this
Oh yeah, but like, I imagine so.
We'll see if Rennial snuck in there before you started walking the rest of your family in.
Can I roll a perception check?
This will be against everyone's passive perception.
Okay.
I have a passive of 11, so
I have a passive of like
watch out.
15 or something.
Hey.
Pretty good passive.
Alright, so
Good
it
roll.
would be
First roll of the campaign.
yeah. Oh,
Nice.
first of all, it's a campaign.
Stealth.
So
Love it.
Dex +3. I'm proficient, so it's +5, so 19.
Dang it.
19. I think that beats all your passives.
But I'm with it.
So, Rennial, you do sneak in,
Yeah.
Mop with the elephant ear.
and you'll see. I believe it was Connor was the
the last
Corey.
name?
Corey,
Corey.
right? Yes.
Yep.
Corey Connor?
Sure. Last name Connor.
Oh no, Connor is our last name.
Yeah.
Friendo.
Or my
Something like that.
spider. Okay.
Just
So-
a spider.
Also named Connor.
Corey,
That's Connor.
That's
Corey.
Connor. Corey.
That's
your father's apprentice.
Yeah.
Let's see.
He doesn't seem to notice you come in, and he's just finishing pulling a sheet over.
Do we
What
get
is
a chance-
very clearly a Fantari body.
to get a glimpse of his face? I kind of just want to confirm.
You
That
probably would have seen just a glimpse.
before. Okay. Then just gonna stand wordlessly next to Papa, and just like with my trunk, like hold his hand and just staring blankly at Caesar, wordlessly.
Corey and I are going to go and fetch the Fate Weaver for last rites. We won't be long. And both of the morticians will leave. Is there anything you would like to do in their absence?
No, I would just walk in with Marcelina and just be there with her. And right before I walked her in, I would have just checked with Elena and make sure that she's watching the kids. The oldest should be watching the kids. So there's plenty of little ones probably confused what's going on. So just
Caesar's kids, my cousins are
The
there too,
grandkids,
right?
yeah.
Or sorry, my niece and nephew.
your nieces and nephews, yeah.
They're gonna be there too.
Kyetana.
They would be outside.
Let's see. As you are walking in, there are a few things that immediately catch your senses. Something is wrong.
Hmm?
You are familiar with the scent of blood. You are familiar with dead bodies. You did your tour of duty. Something seems wrong with the body beneath this sheet. Its scent seems tainted. And as you take a closer look, a memory would poke at the back of your head. You've smelt this kind of rot before. It's a matter of, is it the same source?
How much of his body is shown right now?
It's all under a sheet.
I would wait until Marcelina is calm and just ask her to wait outside, and maybe you should check on the kids, dear.
And she would. And a majority of the family does not want to be in the room.
Yeah. After she leaves, even if there's a few of my children here, I will still just move the sheet just below the chest and...
Yeah, Rennial's actually, as you do that, Rennial's like stepped up further, noticing you're doing something. Just like,
Is there... Well, first, is there any other bodies in this room? And is there any wounds on Cesar? Or does he just look...
So, as far as for other bodies, none here.
Okay.
The morgue of Blackwood is small. It is a small town. You're not usually going to be doing more than one autopsy. Well, it's rare to do more than one in a month. You said you're looking for wounds.
Can I also make a perception check as, we're fully just taking in Caesar?
If you're looking for wounds, this is a medicine check.
Okay. Because I
You may give me
fully
an investigation check.
and all of the everything that's going on, she wasn't expecting there to be anything wrong with the body, but smelling blood is a concern. Okay, that's
Dante
great.
was here to give me guidance.
All right.
Oh.
I got a strong 6.
Investigation, dirty 19.
6. You're just looking over the body. You don't see any wounds.
What about blood? Because I can smell the blood.
You can't smell the blood. I'll give you advantage for finding something involving blood.
I might have advantage anyways with what smells, but I don't remember. Hey, that's better. 17.
So there is one thing, well, two things that you would really be able to tell after going over it. It takes you a hot second to really pin down what killed him. There's no wound. He was healthy. It looks like he looks perfectly fine. You have to actually snoop at the records and actual cause of death that was determined to figure it out.
Is that
And it's
available?
being blamed on a stroke.
So
However, following the blood, it is very faint. It seems his eardrums burst. Now, what did you get on your investigation?
Dirty 19. Well, yes.
You seem to notice it when your mother is looking at the medical records.
Right.
There is a semi-coagulated black but also translucent material just barely noticeable coming out of his ears, the corner of his mouth, and his nose, or his trunk, I should say.
Right.
And
Does this ring a bell? Is this like synonymous with like
you've seen
symptoms?
blood.
Yeah.
That's not what blood looks like when it's coagulated.
Right. It's like a glistening oil. Probably nothing.
And
Is Element still here?
yes.
Yeah.
So are you in the...
I actually probably would have shifted inside, being the only thing, even though I have no idea about any of this. Someone in charge has to look over the inside.
Are you in the room with all the people outside, or are you in where the body?
I'd probably be I would be inside with the body, but close to the door.
Okay.
Kind of be half and half.
And
Also give you space and privacy. It's your
So-
family.
Kyetana would look towards you and just be like, "What happened to my son?"
Who found him?
I assume I got some sort of short
Yeah.
report.
So
I'll take
a
a paper out.
one of your father's men found him just face down as if he were walking to work and just hit the ground. Died before he hit the ground. Reports say that there was people felt off in the area, but it didn't really seem like anything of significance. People have been
probably would
superstitious
written
and
it
kind
off
of
as
yeah.
There's someone died right in front of them. They're gonna feel off.
Yeah.
Did you say any of those things?
To a T.
Yeah, pretty much. Like I'll read off a brief report. There wasn't anything that looked like it should be censored, so to speak. And I would probably add something definitely. Was your son healthy?
Yes.
It's like nothing I've heard.
Has the autopsy been completed?
The autopsy has been completed, yes.
It was not completed when I left, though.
Correct.
Yeah. I have not seen it. Is it the full report is around?
Yeah, the records that you found, it was the
authority
written
enough to pick up
report.
the records? Yeah, I'll just take the records.
Yeah.
Open them with you.
Does this look like a stroke to you?
And I also pointed like the mouth and.
Once you're pointing out the liquid, any of you who are looking at the body may make either an Arcana or a Religion check.
What
Can I-
Ventari do you know
Can I
dies
cast
of a
spell?
stroke at 104?
Sorry?
Can I cast a spell?
I don't
Can I
know
detect poison?
many Fentari, just your family. Great reputation. Love you guys. And I don't know a lot of. Doesn't mean you can't like me.
Oh, I see. One of those politicians.
You said Arcana or
It means
Or Religion. And I do need to know which one you're making. As you are casting Detect Poison,
It's technically the spell. It's detect poison, right?
I mean, there's various...
Detect poison and disease. Yeah.
There's various substances that would be used in an autopsy around that, if ingested, would be considered poisonous.
Sure.
But
I'm
there's
looking on the body specifically.
Yeah, there's
but-
nothing in the body that is giving off toxin.
Okay.
19 Arcana.
19 Arcana.
Are the three of us in this room?
I'm towards the
Just a-
door, and I'm like, you know, sort of like.
I imagined you three were kind of chilling by the door,
Yeah.
just like giving them respect, but
Okay.
you were also hired to watch him.
But I have a 30-foot range on the spell, so that's why I was thinking.
And
I
he's,
no.
and he's fully kneeling like next to like
Okay.
the autopsy table.
I just didn't know where we were.
Yeah.
If we were with the children or not.
You're
not
the
really
child,
an expert
technically.
in strokes, but
So 19 Arcana, was it?
yes.
I only got a 10.
12 religion. Dirty 12.
I have a
It-
-2 to both.
Element, you're looking at this. You were taught things just in your
Not aware of killing people in any way, shape, or form. Yeah, I got it.
you were taught things in your youth, just hey, here's basics of magical
Can't take that for
practice, how to avoid bad things happening to you as nobility.
How not to die 101.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Only the rich go.
That's right. We have private tutors.
Yeah.
Right?
It was something your dad was very adamant about you going through.
But
Not
no shame if the air
foreshadowing.
dies, yeah. Wait, yeah.
You do recognize kind of what the substance is. It's not verbatim what you were told it could look like, but it's something that is possible. A residue as a result of being caught in some sort of magical effect.
Or to detect magic.
Mm-hmm.
I have
One-
no, well, but having 0 combat spells does is it lets a lot of room for.
So specifically, a magical side effect of like ill means like harm intended magic.
Yes.
Okay.
Being a surgeon's wife, during, before, and after a war, I would be somewhat familiar, I feel like, with some of the processes of, like, what the body looks like after an autopsy. Does this fully look like, I don't know, like if they...
There is a Y incision on
Okay.
the
And
chest, yes.
Okay.
Mm,
Is there anything like, I don't know if this world has, like, a toxology report or anything like that?
It would be included in the autopsy. There were no toxins in his system.
Before I say anything in character, the autopsy report doesn't say anything about magic.
It doesn't really say anything about magic. If someone were looking in the wrong light, that residue could have just been mistaken as coagulated blood.
I will. If people are talking out loud, I will from the corners cast detect magic.
I was about to.
My spell list is so ridiculous. Like you guys, I have so many cool things.
To answer, this looks not right.
Detect magic.
This looks magical.
So you cast detect magic. Now I meant to ask this when you cast your detect poison, but I'll ask it now as well.
What magic looks like?
Yeah, what is your spell? What do your spells look like?
Yeah, that's a good question. I'm thinking about it a lot, and I think I do a lot of work like with my hands that I'm not needed. I think he doesn't fully grasp all that he can do yet and why he can do it and how, but he knows it has something to do with like prayer or something. So he's like, okay, let's see if I'm gonna try to do this. I'm gonna grab this thing here. And I'm gonna do this. And let me see if I can see it. I can see. And just like going through the motions of like what I think might work, and it just ends up working at some point.
Just putting a big binocular.
Exactly. Like just going like this and then like the upside down, just like this, just trying to which way. Just exactly. This is it.
So
this is it.
10 minutes of that.
There is a very faint magical residue on the body.
Do I think I can know the type, right? Or
You can.
type magic?
You just gotta focus in on it. And as you do,
Dante,
it's almost as if the body itself, in your vision, is seen through tinted glass. Just the things that are outlined in the magic change color depending on what type of magic you're seeing. And as you're focusing, it starts to turn black. And you're pretty sure whatever this was necromancy.
I don't know if I'm smart enough to know what that even means. So I think I'll just straight up say that. I'll be like, does anyone know what it means for there to be necromantic magics, like death magic and stuff on the body? Anyone?
Doesn't.
So
I did this and I saw it. So. I was like that. Did you see that thing before I was doing before?
See magical?
Right.
Did you do? Yeah.
Right,
I
he's
can-
very magic.
Oh, me?
Oh, very?
Oh, I'm incredibly magic.
Yeah.
Great. Great.
He tends to do
I'm
stuff.
not. I'm not.
Miraculous.
Right, but I'm not in this case. I would never lie about this.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Well, isn't
Not this
that's
way.
not how the faith weaver kind of draws your soul out your body through?
Is this how it works?
It's just
What? I look at the other bodies if there are any in here.
Yeah.
Are
There are none.
Oh, well.
Eleven, I want someone investigating my son's death immediately.
We'll verify what this kid said, and
Question for
do
you.
everything we
Yeah.
can.
Koski's had plenty of spells thrown at his face.
Yes.
With the mention of necromancy, does he not understand but recognize a little bit?
You know what? Give me an Arcana check.
Ooh. Maybe someone casts
You have a
a
higher
cantrip.
intelligence than I do.
Ironic.
Yeah.
14.
14.
Not so wrong.
Necromancy is the manipulation of life and death. It can be anything from snuffing out someone's whole identity in an instant with a single word.
A powerful word.
It could be raising a body to do your bidding as a mindless puppet. It could be draining the life out of one being and gifting it to another. There's a wide range of what necromancy can involve. However, every instance you've seen of it taking a life in your entire battle-scarred history, it is always amongst the most grisly. What you see here seems quite tame compared to what necromancy is capable of.
Is it common for magic there to be like an aura left over after the spell?
You may also give me a Arcana check.
Is everyone here really smart?
Did my 12 in religion from earlier and the ooze get nothing?
It's not sparking anything about what it could be.
I'm just really sad about
Just a 7.
7?
I haven't really made a check.
You're
You should
not
go
100%
so.
sure. You've seen spells thrown around before, but whenever magic gets involved, more often than not, you had bigger priorities on your mind. Is there anything else you guys would like to do, or do you just wait for the Fate Weaver to be fetched for last rites?
What does the process of last rites look like?
It is the ceremony spell.
And I could literally cast it, I guess.
It is an hour-long spell meant to ensure the body's soul transfers peacefully to the afterlife.
Yeah, I'd wait till Estiana returns.
While you are waiting, you could hear behind you a voice that you have not yet heard in this room that just says, seemingly very sympathetically, "I am so sorry for your loss."
I'd look in a direction.
Nobody's there.
Just Cassius.
Cassius is like standing kind of nearby you, but it's clearly like that was like a woman's voice. And he's busy squinting at this piece of paper your husband handed him, trying to figure out if it's like a check. Like holding it up to the light. Kind of makes eye contact with you and shows it back in his coat really quick.
There's a whole group of people in the other room. That's
Yeah.
probably where it came from.
I think Rennial would actually be with like his siblings and
I'll be with
kind of trying to comfort or just be like it's him. They don't know what happened. Now anything that you told me, I'll be telling them whether or not like you want me to. They're gonna get like the full like breakdown.
Maybe I'll be like, even up the necromancy stuff.
The black ooze coming out of his face and nose and
just
mouth.
listen out.
And how they just hit the ground.
Oh no.
Like right in front of his wife and kids.
Oh God, no, please.
Well, no, his kids are older than I am, so
That's
they're
true.
fully. My niece and nephew are.
That's true.
So,
older than me.
Oh, I forgot about that.
Probably
earlier.
twice as tall.
your husband does eventually return with Fate Weaver Martin Adel, the local priest of the Weaver of Fates. You don't see him around town too often. He'll come around to give last rites at a burial, but mostly he just tends to the graveyard. Kind of odd dude, but keeps to himself.
What's his name?
Martin Adel.
Martin Adel. Cool dude.
He does come in full paraphernalia, a plague doctor-esque mask, black robes, censer, and he does begin the ceremony of last rites.
I'm gonna just step out of this room real quick.
All right. Who is staying in the room for this ceremony?
Is it common for... Because my family, we've had to do this once before. We would have a different kind of like funeral process and etc. But this part would still be part of it. But is it common for this part for just the rites for everyone to be present?
The rites, it's a matter of what the family feels comfortable with.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes it'll be a celebration through the last rites. Sometimes it is a private mourning. It would really be up to you and your family.
Yeah. I would fully just tell Elena to grab the kids and to take them home, and whoever else is wanting to take some time to go home, because we will mourn in our own way, and we'll do our own, we'll probably end up doing our own burial and everything, but right now for the rites, whoever wants to stay can stay.
Koski will go outside with Cassius.
I'm with him.
Rennial, I think, is like almost like morbidly curious. The fact that what's going through his head right now is like there's this weird necromantic magic that's involved somehow, and he wants to be around.
Okay.
Half expecting something's gonna happen when the priest is gonna cast his away.
Yeah, I think in the room would definitely be Marcelina, and then some of the older children would probably stay outside just to make sure everyone's okay, but most of the family would probably head home.
Alright. So, players.
Mm-hmm.
Rennial is staying. Dante,
I'm with everybody.
I'm in the room.
Kyetana, Element, are you staying?
I'll stay.
Alright. And Cassius and Koski are outside, just kind of waiting and seeing off the rest of the family.
Am I still supposed to be watching this kid? Unclear. Okay.
It is about an hour-long ceremony to fully get the magic of the Weaver of Fates across. However,
How long does it take magic class?
you have almost made it all the way through this ritual.
Oh. Oh.
When the music changes.
You sense the music change.
Has been more than 10 minutes.
Yes. It's been
What if
45.
But I can keep ritual casting it, isn't it? Ritual casting?
You're just in the
It is.
corner
I'm just.
doing that.
Kyetana, would you have preferred for the sheet to be put back over your son?
No, I think it would have been like underneath his chest, just with the eyes closed, just so like everyone can pay their respects the way they want to, kind of like an open casket burial.
Yeah. And just Rennial has just been like whispering like things to his brother. It's like, oh, I should have seen you.
Kyetana, you are the first and only one to see it before. Well, no, Dante, you are just as perceptive.
I'm pretty good.
So you both see this the instant it happens. You see his hand twitch.
Hmm?
And
Okay, don't interrupt the ritual. What about his hand?
you are all shocked to see your son. Eyes go wide and just as scarily fast, like a little faster than you knew him to be in life. Sit up, grab Martin Adel, and just bite into his neck.
Oh, so that's what we're doing.
And I need those in the room to roll initiative.
Perfect.
Is Corey in the room?
Do
So I
we
get to
hear
do
screaming?
Yeah, is Corey in the house?
He left.
Is Corey in the house?
Corey is very
So you,
fired.
Yes, you would hear someone screaming in pain.
Do I get to do one thing before
That's so cool.
initiative starts?
Totally.
What is it?
I just wanted to push Marcelina towards the door and just yell at Ren. Well, I would have said, Ren, get her out.
I'll get her.
Can we roll?
Yeah, everyone can roll initiative. Those of you
I'm
who are
gonna say
We
I'll
outside.
left
say-
the door ajar.
I'll say we run in when she
Yeah.
runs out.
Those of you who are outside, it would be on the second round of combat that you would be able to make it in.
Okay.
But yeah, I did yell at you though to get her out.
Dante! I know. I got it.
Oh.
Great.
I'll say it in Spanish. Lo hace.
All right. So, 25 to 20.
21.
Ooh. We got there.
New me.
New character. Who dis?
Who dis?
20 to 15.
17.
16.
Oh.
Okay.
Sorry.
Okay.
Element got 19.
Right after mom.
Go after mom. It's after my mom.
Siza, shouldn't be biting.
I know you're hungry. It's been a while. But
15 to 10.
Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
I'm not that rich.
Okay. 10.
Oh, say.
What'd you get,
Oh,
Koski?
shit.
I got a 1.
Oh.
A nice crit fail for my first
Wait,
roll.
plus nothing?
Should be plus your dex.
Dex, yeah.
Oh, plus my dex. I didn't know I added it on a crit fail.
It's a
for
dirty
skill checks.
So
2.
that would be a dirty 2.
Nice. See, now that's a dirty.
That's a dirty.
Yeah, that.
I need to hear.
Great start. Great start.
I'm second to the bottom. We're together in this.
All right. So Cassius, you're the first to react when you hear a scream of pain that turns into a gurgle coming from within the, well, the theater.
Paint it for me. Give me the gurgle. I want to hear it.
There we go.
Now I can picture it.
Mouthful of Martin.
So I feel like Cassius moves almost not of his own accord, as if like he's jolted forward, and then just kind of without any sort of actual casting from himself, you just see Mage Armor cast around him, and he just kind of like is in the doorway like, and he will take out his gun, and that's my first turn.
All right. Element, what are you doing as you see what is clearly a corpse, Y incision and all, sit up and bite into a priest?
It's not good. Corey's fired. I will go up next to it.
No.
Is this priest an ally in combat with this corpse?
Ooh.
Not with the amount of damage he just took.
Then this is probably more accurate in character anyway. I am going to move next to the corpse. I am going to take out my maul, the enabler.
Would
And
would the ritual have required that much space? Because I think Rennial would have, like, unless the priest told him to back away, I'd be next
I
to.
also realize that, like, albeit a corpse in probably bad situation, family is present, and this is a blunt object, not very graceful, you know. So I'm going to hold my attack action for approval,
Until the family
permission
says it's okay.
from the family to enable their son to be dead again.
No.
Wait, I have a
My
like
mom
a-
said it's okay to beat up your dead brother if you, your mom said it's okay.
The ceremony
and
takes
or-
1 hour to cast.
Right,
How long
but
was it going?
how was it, like about to be finished?
It was 45 minutes in.
Dang it! I was saying maybe I could just finish it. I could because I have the spell. I
Okay,
can
guys,
just,
give me
Um,
1,000 rounds.
yeah.
Or so yeah, like permission, or if it's just so overtly unsafe that it needs to be done, and we'll ask for forgiveness later.
All right. Kyetana.
Is the priest still alive?
He does.
Oh, hate that for. What's his name, Martin?
He is missing his throat.
Is he
Healing
alive?
word will help.
He's an NPC though. He's an NPC though.
The amount of damage he just took, you
Technically.
should be dead.
And we can fix it.
Should.
Objects.
Is he? This is not a
Technically.
yes. I'm very confused why it's not a very.
Yes, he is dead.
Okay, cool. So not
It's just
wounds.
the residual gurgle of
Dying.
death rattle.
Death rattle.
Got you.
Oh.
I could have fixed his neck, but
You
can't
still
fix
can.
death.
Can't fix death. Well,
No,
Someone's trying.
it's like yeah, it's like 2 more levels.
Did you say you could finish the ceremony?
No, I was wondering from the DM if it was even close to done because I have that. I could literally do the ceremony.
But you didn't say that.
I did. I've said before that I could do a ceremony like that.
Okay.
But
In character.
In
is, I
character,
think,
yeah.
the question. Oh, okay.
Okay.
But there's not like right now. I wouldn't say that now. I mean,
Okay.
at this moment, no.
So I want to try to grapple my dead son.
All right. Give me a unarmed attack roll. If you hit, he is grappled.
Yeah, the new rules.
Exactly.
Yeah, those are the new rules. Yeah,
Ooh.
for 1d.
Do I add anything to this?
This would just be your strength modifier.
Ten.
Are they flanking at all?
Can they position
I
in a
haven't
way that's
actually
flanking too?
attacked, but
That's
I'm,
true.
I'm
I guess
on the
you are
side.
technically
I'm
flanking.
basically waiting, like, permission to re-kill your family.
Instead of a 10, 11.
An 11 will hit.
Okay.
Ah.
So you do. How are you grappling? Is it
I'm
like
just-
under arms, hands behind head? What? Are you just giving him a bear hug? What are you doing?
I'm fully just like kind of laying down on him, but just using like I'm holding his arms to the side of like the whatever he's laying on, and just kind of just fully just on him,
So as you lay down on him,
and kind of probably will have my arm like to his like chin.
under the chin.
Yeah, so that like he can't bite me.
So as you lay down on him, you do force the body of the priest away from him. As he tore the throat out, it looked like he was going to continue to feast.
I will look desperately at Element. Can you tie him down?
I have a hammer.
I see
I
that.
didn't pack rope.
To
Oh,
this
yeah,
funeral?
we don't have our bags.
You didn't pack
So-
rope to the funeral?
That's at least your action.
That's all I can really do for right now. I have no reason to cast Hunter Mark on my son, so yeah.
Rennial, what are you doing?
Time. Say, sir. Yeah. Yeah.
Ren, get out of
Adventurous
here.
The
Adventurous bag, yeah.
Adventurous bag. 50 feet of rope. I'm ignoring you completely.
Yep.
I'm gonna try to tie down my brother, just horrified. Like, how hog tie him, I guess. So what, is that like a... Can I, I'll look over. I want advantage on this. It would be like sleight of hand.
Are you trained in survival?
I am, yes.
You know how to tie a knot.
Okay, so, just
Yep.
morbidly.
It's just your action, you're tying the knot.
Okay.
Congratulations.
And bonus action, I'm gonna give you the, I'm gonna do the bonus action, use my special fighter maneuver. Shield wall? It's called something cool that Ryan
It
spent
is
a lot
indeed
of time.
shield wall.
Okay, great. Shield wall. Now I'm gonna just like position myself. Mom, stay behind his face.
Yeah, what does shield wall do?
Now for every ally adjacent to the target, which is in my mom, they get +1 AC. So with me standing next to the mom, and I imagine you're also within 5 feet, Mama gets a +2 AC for the next number of rounds equal to my charisma modifier, which is 4. And it's just Rennial just like still just really surprised, still focusing. Mom, just stay behind his mouth. And there's like a lot of that happening.
Alright.
Just very focused, but very like almost unsure at the same time. He's like, this isn't supposed to happen, right? That'll be my turn.
So he's restrained.
Yeah, his movement speed 0.
His movement speed is 0, disadvantage on attack rolls.
Okay, great.
Advantage on attack rolls against him.
This is not permission to smash my brother's face in, please.
Well, don't even.
Do you sign the permission slip?
No.
You said this is now or not?
This is not.
No.
Okay.
We're trying to treat him as if he's alive. I know. You told me we're not.
We're
Try to
trying
treat his
trying to
body
be
with
respectful.
respect.
Your son is just trying to bite whatever is closest.
Caesar,
I
snap
give him
out
the
of this.
handle of my maul.
Yeah.
Don't chew on it.
And then the priest stands up
You have permission to smash that one, then.
Yeah, no, that's fine.
I kind of assume that.
and is going to. Who
They're
would be
definitely
closer?
the bigger target.
You should sell out your mom.
She has +2 AC.
I hate it here. My own son.
I respect
You
my
make a fair
mother.
point.
Yeah, I'd be like, Mom!
I did just tell him to smash its face in.
Yeah. So it will be making 2 attacks against you.
Okay.
Against my mom, Ryan?
Yes.
2 whole attacks? My mom.
The one that you just pointed at and said to go.
That is a 7 to hit.
No.
And
That +2 AC, really?
a 24 to hit.
That hits.
Alright.
Your AC is in 22?
No.
Can't you make them reroll that with a reaction?
Oh, wait. That's. I think that might be a save. Hold on.
Is it a saving throw?
For silver.
I thought it was for anything.
For any
Silvery
successful
barbs,
one,
I think
yeah.
it's a successful. Yeah.
Still learning the classes.
My,
It's not. I think it's like a. I don't know. Is that a class feature? That can't be a
no,
class
it
feature.
is not. It's a level 1 enchantment spell.
It's from one of the
This is
weapons.
from.
I think
Strict
it's-
saving.
Yes.
When you can see success. Oh, it's an attack roll. Okay,
Yeah.
that was okay. So yeah, I'm gonna yell, Mom, watch out!
And
So-
you're.
You have to reroll it.
You have to re-roll and use the lower roll.
Alright. So lower roll is a dirty 20.
Okay, that still does it.
Alright,
Okay. Also, I choose a different creature other than different creature I can see to get advantage on the next attack, ability, check, or saving throw within 1 minute. I think that'll be Mom.
So that'll be a total of 5 points of piercing damage as it bites into your shoulder.
Okay.
That brings us to Dante's turn.
All right, so I'm getting someone out of the room is first and foremost something that I'm doing. But actually, first thing I do, bonus action cast Sanctuary on you. So everything has to make a Wisdom saving throw before it can attack or do anything against you, and against my Wisdom save, as long as you don't like hit the person you're right now holding, which I don't think you're gonna do. So yeah, that's it. And then action, because I'm a bonus action. So my action, I believe I can cast a cantrip, right? Because I cast a.
Correct.
So I will cast guidance on you. So you have just also on you, probably, right? Because you're doing the checks to hold them in place, right? It's a touch though. Can I walk up to you then? How far are you? Are you away from me right now?
This is not a large room.
Yeah.
It is 20 feet wide and maybe 30 feet long.
Great. I'll just walk up, tap guidance, and then and concentrate on that as I'm.
Yeah.
Actually, both concentration.
Yeah, I was gonna
I don't
And
think
then you're
so.
just escorting the.
No, it's not. It's just a duration for sanctuary.
I see.
So then I'm just escorting more something.
If you are walking up to the person who is in melee combat with.
I don't think so. Unless are you in melee combat with your brother, dead brother?
He's
I was just I just tied
You
up
did
my,
just tie up the.
yeah, the brother
But would that, if walking up to him
I
when he is,
imagine-
would I be in melee range of something?
of like Martin, dead Martin. I
It's
don't know, if
pretty
it's
close quarters in
It's
here.
pretty close quarters.
So it would be in melee
yeah.
range?
Yeah.
Well, I probably. Sure. Yeah, I'll say that I went. But not on purpose, just because I was dumb.
It is attacking with disadvantage.
Great.
$16.
Yeah, it's.
You take a total of 6 points of damage as it bites into your hand.
Great. I accidentally hellish rebuke.
All right.
Whoopsie.
Oh,
Dante, be
whoopsie.
careful.
Clumsy me.
So that's a deck save from you.
It is restrained. It fails.
Oh, great.
Against my son?
Well, I didn't do it on purpose.
It was an accident.
Whoops.
We don't know where it came from.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
have no idea. It wasn't
Yeah,
It was just
we-
fire.
And there.
for this one.
And what does your hellish rebuke
It's
look
just
like?
spicy.
Uh, it looks like 11 points of damage is what it, no, it's,
Did it look like an
did I
inferno?
say what? Yeah, but it's,
The
is it gonna be green flame?
Did you just vaporize my
Green
son?
flame.
No, I don't think we can do that. Let's say it's just like a really deep, like dark red, which is weird. It's really conflicting with the other
I
colors.
could imagine
Christmas
he bites you
vibes.
and you just burst
Yeah,
into
well,
flames.
I was imagining like the bite in the hand, and then just flame just roils out from the hand, like just from any of the blood coming out. Just the blood just immediately when it hits air, it just ignites.
The face is now singed.
Yeah,
It's
and I'm like,
marred.
ow, 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 you know, and then I run and I grab, obviously, you know, Marcel and I just
That's new.
walk us out. Ow, 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 more like
Alright.
this. We gotta go.
Brings us to Koski. You burst in and see this.
So I'm gonna burst in with my great axe, but I'm gonna use an action to rage.
Bonus action.
Bonus action.
Bonus action to rage. I'm gonna say necrotic and poison damage. Can I
Alright.
choose those? And then my regular barbarian
Yeah.
damage.
So, explanation as to why you get those resistances.
I
are-
am the Primal Path Shaman Slayer, and so I get an additional resistance equal to my intelligence modifier, which is deuce. So that will be for this fight, necrotic and poison, because that seems somewhat relevant with our current foes. Perhaps.
Alright.
How far away from me is the priest?
So you would have been using all your movement because you were
Okay, so
outside
that's
to
it.
get in here.
Okay, so I'm in.
Yes. All right.
Am I gonna lose my rage? Because I
Um,
don't get to attack this turn? Or should I
could-
wait?
You can attack because
You could throw.
range is a bonus action. Oh, you need an action to get to him?
Because I'm too far away.
I would
used all
say-
of my stuff to get into the room, I guess. And
you know, I'll let you use your action to dash up to him,
okay,
so you would be in melee combat with it.
okay,
Higher chance of keeping your rage then.
okay.
I see. Hmm.
Brings us to the top of the round. Cassius, what are you doing? You are now in the room.
Yeah.
The room where it's
Um,
happening.
No, I know.
We know.
Does Firebolt work at close range?
Just
for aesthetic reasons.
You would have disadvantage to hit.
Mhm.
Is that only 5 feet, or is it really
If you are in melee combat with a ranged attack roll.
Okay. It was just for aesthetic reasons anyway. So Cassius is just gonna stand there and be like, no, 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 no. And then you will see from behind him this figure emerge, this spectral blue, very sad looking woman who just sort of rises out from behind him as if she was hiding behind him the whole time. And she will look at this
Another one, get him.
creature and she will say, "You leave this young man's body alone. It is not for you to take." And then she will cast Firebolt.
That's right. She's the one who cast it?
Yeah. It comes like from over his shoulder essentially, and he kind of just like sighs and ducks his head.
Roll to hit.
Casters that don't cast certain spells are my favorite.
That is a 12.
That'll hit.
Nice. Cool.
Nice.
I'm glad she didn't just completely whiff.
Now, is this hitting the son or the son who is tied up, or the priest who is biting into Kyetana?
The sun, because she was addressing him.
Oh no.
Sorry, Kyetana. She has some feelings.
Have more people not to like. That's not good.
I can beef with my wife later. I just do what she says, man. That's 7 damage.
That's a move.
7 points of All right.
Sizer, no.
Says that.
Sizer.
I'm stressed out. Okay. I'm
We're
allowed
going
to
real
mispronounce
hardcore.
my brother's
Kaiser.
mispronunciation.
All right.
Very traumatized right
So
now.
is that your turn?
So I
Caesar.
Yeah, Cassius
Say
will
something.
uncomfortably clear his
It's just a
throat.
Pokemon now.
All right.
Caesar.
That brings us to Element.
Yes.
Oh, I want to catch
Permission slip signed. I go over to the priest.
All right.
He's not my brother.
Koski is also within melee combat as well as Kyetana.
Ah, perfect. I hit it.
Whoa.
You
Whoa,
can certainly try.
Shocker.
What?
So
What
does
do you
this mean
hit
I'm
with?
flanking?
Can you do
sure?
that?
Can you use it
Ooh, I don't
in
know.
this situation?
We quit.
Oh.
Pog!
Ooh.
I didn't get out all the dice.
He didn't even have the crit fish. That's great.
I can anyway.
No, it would completely.
I can anyway.
Still have.
I'm a crit fish for the double
I'm
crit.
going to sneak attack and use my Enforcer Rogue ability
I
to
just wanna say-
brute force.
This guy critted on our episode 0 that
That's
you guys
right.
didn't get to see,
Yeah.
and now we're here in episode 1 and he critted again.
First roll, yeah.
I think that was also the
These dice-
first time as
they're
well. First
tiny
hit, first hit.
amethyst dice,
I
they're
just wanted the
big.
audience to know that because that's
It's important. It's important to
Gotta
know
love
that.
it when your rogue crits. But as you were saying, Chris, your Enforcer Rogue
My
ability.
Enforcer Rogue ability lets me substitute sneak attack dice with my weapon dice. And because I'm using the enabler, which is a maul, I get to replace one of my sneak attack d6s with my maul 2d6s.
Yes.
Does that also get doubled?
So I get to replace sneak attack dice equal to my proficiency bonus rounded down. Or
Half
half
proficiency
my
rounded down.
proficiency
Hey Ryan,
rounded down.
did you have combat plan? Because there's a rogue person.
I did. There's a reason they're zombies.
That's true.
Overkill.
They have to make the save. They can't.
Yeah, maybe they just won't make the save.
Well, they won't. If
He's
there's
also
50
hitting a fresh
damage.
one.
That's true. It's 38.
38.
Sorry, that's a lie.
Okay.
It's 42.
That's a different number.
It's a
I
very
didn't know
different
that.
number.
It's technically a different number.
Would you have killed everyone here? With that hit? I think so, right?
I'd
no,
be
maybe
down.
not you.
I'd be done.
There's maybe one of us that might have slipped.
It would-
Oh.
I would have been dead.
Me too.
You can't make that
Yeah.
save,
Excellent news.
especially because it was from a critical hit. So,
Oh yeah, that's right.
What was that, like disadvantage or something?
would you like
No,
to
it's like-
describe
Oh.
the priest's demise?
Yeah, it's like Gallagher watermelon. Let's go.
Okay, good.
I didn't hit your kid. It's fine. That's just, you're welcome.
We're
Well,
all just so
I love
horrified,
this
just
thing.
wiping off Martin Viscera off our face.
Everyone seems significantly less happy than I thought.
I walked back in after taking the other person out and go, why is that watermelon on the phone? Whatever, okay.
All right.
Where's Martin?
What's my favorite?
Is that your turn?
top?
I don't know. Cunning action dodge.
Sure.
Sure.
Yeah.
You can dodge,
Yeah.
you can dodge action as a
Wait, no, you
combination?
can, I don't think you can, right?
Yeah, no, that's
That's the
a
other- that's
aerialist
acrobatics.
Oh.
specific. You can dash, disengage, or hide as a cunning action.
Bye.
Yeah. Hide. Gotta hide from my responsibilities as the parents.
Just goes underneath the table that Caesar's on.
I'm under there too.
Yeah. Oh, I have to do all this paperwork.
Kyetana,
That kind of got rid of our issue.
are you still just gonna
Stuff.
leave
Dante,
him
can
tied
you
up?
finish the ceremony?
Yeah, I can. I have ceremony. Yeah, is that? Do I think that's
Is there any
not
other?
that I would like know off the top of my head, but if anyone here might want to do a check, that was,
Would
can I
it
make
work?
a medicine check?
What are you trying to figure out?
If I can do this, if I can finish the ceremony, I have the ceremony
It
spell.
would have to be restarted.
Oh God.
We
Whole
have
hour.
an hour.
No, I think it's an hour and like 20 minutes technically because hold on, it says.
You know. We have the abridged.
I'd be helping you, like, keeping him down, tying him up, maybe gagging him.
Yeah, I was gonna say that.
All the while, it's just like making sure
Martin
that he can't.
did have the components
Yeah.
for it.
Okay, it's an hour and 10 minutes.
But it's just horrifying. What's happening? And then
But
it's like
yes,
literally just
you-
like on top of
I
him.
can do
just
funeral
keeping
right,
him
yeah.
down.
Touch one corpse the next 7 days, it can't turn into an undead. Short of a wish spell. I can do
Does that? Well, do you know if that'll work? Because he's technically
Yeah,
a
already.
zombie.
That's what I was asking the DM. I don't know if it'll work.
Last one didn't work.
Well, okay. I was wondering if there's like a check that I would have to make to figure out if it would work. Detect magic didn't do it.
You yourself are in new waters.
This is new
Sure.
territory.
Let's try it.
I look for us, Sir Opie.
What are the
for the gods?
components for this? Powdered silver and
Do you want to leave?
yeah, powdered silver, I guess. Okay.
Yeah.
So I just take powdered silver and I just keep.
Actually, don't send for the guards. You saw him perform this for 45 minutes. I imagine
I did.
it's just you.
I wasn't
miming
paying
him.
attention that much.
But doesn't know the last 30 minutes.
Yeah.
So just
Gosh.
improv it.
Look, the first half, you guys are like, "That's pretty good. This is a pretty good display of like the." And then
got
the
this,
last,
son.
and then right when after
You
I'm
got
like
this, Dante.
this, I'm like, okay, just keep going in the circle, I guess. I don't know. Right?
I would have told Estiano at the very beginning of the ceremony to get the family home.
Okay.
Turn to
I will
interpretive
say-
dance for
Yeah.
30 minutes.
Koski, you probably would have been the best one to make sure they're not moving while you're
double
doing
tap.
this.
The other one.
Yeah. Is the priest not moving at this
The
point?
priest's head is a puddle.
The rest of him? Is it not moving?
It is
or
not
is it
moving.
still squiggling? Okay.
Is there only one exit out of this room?
Yes, it is
Okay.
a stairway.
Oh, it's a stairway out of here.
Yes, you are in a cellar.
Oh, okay.
They don't need their kneecaps.
Who?
The-
Who doesn't need their
The
kneecaps?
priest?
No, they need try to run up the stairs.
He's pretty bound up.
Are you talking about Caesar? Says that it's fine. He's round up.
Fine.
Oh, okay.
I would wait at the top of the stairs just to make sure that
Yeah.
there's no other funny business going on.
You? Or who are you talking to?
I would try to use my maul's handle in the
Yeah.
mouth of, so that they can't bite anything.
And it's just biting on it.
I'm-
And you are getting teeth marks in the enabler.
Fair enough. After like 10 minutes extra, I'm
Additional
like, give
teeth
me an
marks.
F, give me a U. I don't know
Oh
what to
my
do anymore.
God.
I just don't know what to do anymore.
Well, you
I'm
do
just-
eventually finish your ceremony.
Okay, good.
They're just like
And-
an arcane like glow. It's like I
Okay, I guess my set's done. I was doing stand up.
Put the
And-
fun in funeral this
Yeah,
evening.
exactly.
He is at peace.
Is it
For a week.
Well, for 7 days, it can't. Yeah, there's no turning into an undead at all.
It would be at this point that I would just put my hand on Renren's shoulder and just be like, I don't know what's going on, but I will figure this out. It's time for us to head home.
And I think it's at that. Rennial's been doing like a brave face. It's just full on weeping now.
I'd thank Elemen, and I would also thank Cassius. I'd look at Koski and kind of just keep moving on and just skip that interaction completely.
I did savagely beat you just prior to this, so.
I would unbound Cesar and just grab his body and just put him over my shoulder, and I'd look at both of you.
I'm
Just
coming with.
fine. You're just gonna go home.
I'm coming with.
Just
Do
walking.
you need any help with that? You wanna cheat?
Yeah.
I grab it. Like you offer it, I grab it, and I'm just gonna like follow.
Wait, did anyone get hurt?
I
It
did.
might just be.
I mean, might as well use my spells now. I'll just healing word you twice.
You can heal
Stand
healing word me
yourself.
once.
Yeah,
Huh?
it's
You
like.
can do it once.
Okay.
Well, yeah,
I'll
for
do it. I
5.
mean, it's not that much. It's literally a D4 plus 4, so it's not going to be that much healing.
That should be max. That should give me back to max.
Oh, it probably does. It's, yeah, 8.
There you go.
Yes.
So
You're just walking.
I think the others, me, Dante, and Rennial will start walking out the doors of the morgue to the outside. Does anything else happen past this interaction?
Yeah, Rennial is like on edge, just like staring at his brother's corpse.
I
like,
would've-
slung over his shoulder. Are you like? Do you have him like wrapped up, or is it fully just like his dead body slung over your shoulder?
There's this sheet that
There's a
Element gave me, so
and it
there's
can
just a
be,
sheet
like-
over him.
Okay.
But when I shook your hand, I would have said, "We'll discuss this more later, when my son and the others aren't around." I'm out of earshot. Just
Perception
Would-
check to make sure
Are
it's
you,
out of
Here's
your-
a question
finding
for
me,
you.
Or am I finding you?
Would you want to do this at your abode, or are you looking for somewhere?
Oh, that's what I was just asking.
Oh,
like in
okay.
character, like. Am I finding you, or are you finding me?
Come check on us later.
Alright.
But yeah, right now, Kyetana's goal is to go home, talk to her husband, try to figure out what's going on. Something bad definitely happened. It doesn't seem like Element knows what happened, but the other mortician either did his job badly, or is there something going on? I'm assuming Element's going to report the situation of the dead priest and rising bodies
Yeah,
to.
what did you do
So
at work
much
today?
paperwork.
But
No.
Kyetana's taking her son, bringing him home because a lot has gone on. We would conduct the funeral at home anyways, and she can speak to Estiano there and try to not get too detailed with telling Marcelina what happened, but just giving her like some information that things didn't go as planned, so that's why I'm kind of just carrying his body home.
Yeah, we're still kind of covered in Martin Visceral.
And Visceral, yeah, Martin Visceral.
Thaumaturgy.
Okay.
But yeah, if nothing else would have happened, I would
Excellent.
head home and start talking to the family.
And you may. Before Estiano leaves, he does make sure to pay
Yeah, we got
Cassius
some bread.
and Koski.
Put some bread. Right.
He gives each of you a gold piece.
Big spender.
It's what he had on him.
He's a doctor. He gave
Yeah.
he gave me more.
Wow.
The
he's like
doctor.
The
So, the rest of you that are not a member of the family,
And Dante.
Hey. What?
He's saying you'll be there.
Oh.
what are you guys doing this evening after these events?
Drinking. Koski's going back to the bar.
Yeah.
Back to drinking.
Yeah, probably. Same.
Drinking buddies.
All right. So, you two are heading to the bar together.
A gold can buy a lot of drinks.
Yeah.
Up to 20.
Element, you're returning to your.
It's like massive.
Where's Corey?
Corey, he
Someone's getting bored.
was upstairs in the actual like office, just filing paperwork when the rites were occurring. Are you going to find him?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's like a flashback.
Fully just sees me with a blanket and something underneath a blanket that looks like a body just walking out.
We're all still just dripping in Martin's.
Oh yeah,
Martin
everyone
doesn't
covered in
walk out.
visceral.
Martin doesn't walk out.
Again, I'm pristine. No blood on me.
I'm going to do that conversation first. Then we can head to the bar if there's anything you guys want to do there other than drink. All right.
Argue with my wife.
Both
Great.
of our
We're
characters.
doing gameplay.
Both of our characters are very over it and just want to drink.
All right.
Antisocial characters.
Let's go.
That's a mood.
So,
Taking a sharp left this time around.
what happened?
Oh, that's an excellent question, Tom. Call me.
I mean, he died of a stroke.
No. I got something to show you.
Oh.
What remains of Martin Atoll?
No, what will remain of him? Is what he's going to show.
Oh, all right, let me just put these.
No, that's fine. Just come on.
Uh-oh.
We'll have someone else take care of that.
Puts his clipboard down, gets up, a little hesitant,
Point hesitant.
Did he not hear what was? It was downstairs.
and he's
I think overall the chanting of the YMCA and everything
Yeah,
was.
I was sitting there for an hour with interpretive dance. With happening in the background. I think he'd hear something.
Probably just you.
Yeah.
He had his noise canceling
he will
headphones.
follow you. When he sees the remains of Fate Weaver Martin,
Died of a stroke.
not him, obviously, but
Oh, getting better.
So much shade.
And he'll just kind of slump back against the wall.
So, besides sarcasm, I'm trying to suss out if I think Corey knew any more than he let on, / how did he think that it was a stroke?
Give me a insight check.
Yeah, why would he think it's a stroke?
I'm glad you're doing this and not me.
No. It's kind of fucked, but I guess I can take it. It's a 14.
14. It was my best guess as to how he just fell over dead.
Best guess, Dad. You trained this.
Yeah, like I know that the dad is actually pretty good at his job.
Yes.
Like it was
Give this man a license.
right.
Best
Who
guess.
did give this? Was it me?
Yes.
Oh. See, I made a mistake. It's important for people to admit their mistakes. You're fired.
Oh.
That's it.
What else am I going to do around here?
There's a mess to clean up.
Yeah, there seems to be a janitorial position open.
Yeah, janitorial position opened up. Maybe farmhand.
No.
Might have some tough luck there.
Kind of just sticks her token. No.
I don't think the farmer owners would be okay with that.
Funnily enough, the janitorial position opened up right in this room tonight.
Yeah.
Like right now.
Start today.
Technically, the Fate Weaver needs.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
It's strangely we've had a bunch of openings recently, all kind of situated around this area.
How are you with rituals?
Yeah.
Element, come on. I need this job.
Should have did it better.
Man, you don't really want to escape them, huh?
Yeah, honestly.
This guy's gonna end up being the big
So
bad.
sorry, with the insight, I didn't really get much. Like it was just
He's
like
so you got a 14.
yeah.
There was nothing malicious in his eyes.
Okay.
It's incompetence.
Let's start with the janitorial duties. We'll see about reinstating in a week.
Go scrub toilets, so I'm not mad at you anymore.
Mood.
That's the mood.
He's just gonna kind of like look at his hands like, what has my life become?
Oh, what? You don't respect janitors? I hate this
Yeah.
guy.
Wow.
Like, what's that?
wow.
Thinks he's been.
This is a good
We
pay.
kill
What do you-
Corey immediately.
I hope he's the big bad so we can kill him.
So,
Yeah, what's wrong with custodial?
is that all you're doing?
I would also kind of bridge it. Whatever like reporting to town guard needs to be done, and then I'd let my father know.
Okay.
Roll a D4 for how long the paperwork takes you.
There's no way you can't have someone else.
Yeah, we have people for that. That's just yeah. I
Paperwork.
have someone to write down what I'm saying.
Roll a d4 for how efficient that person is.
Yeah.
Go over this every time.
Intimidation.
Triplicates.
It's
triplicates.
Corey again, and he's just as bad at it.
It's a different Corey, but just as bad.
You have me working
They
3
have
jobs.
they have a twin.
I was tired.
His twin is also named Corey.
also named Corey.
No, could it be? It's Corey and Connor. That's how we got those two.
Oh my
I just-
God.
That's why you confused them before, because
Oh,
you confuse
yeah.
them all the time.
I like a Nurse Joy situation. With
Ah.
just one additional
Yeah.
Corey, like for
In
each
every
one.
town.
So it's like
Yeah.
Corey.
Or it's just like a placeholder name that Element like gives all the people he
If I don't remember names,
It's Corey. Why?
So, I'm
Is it
going
in
to
me?
cut to the Greenhound Tavern.
That's
Koski.
hard.
We didn't get this happy music last season. What's up?
We were in
Ryan
so now,
actually
yeah.
took the time to go through the music this time.
Yes.
Yeah.
Be like, oh, it's
He's
great.
walking up to me at work like, is this combat or would you describe this as somber or
Hey,
sad?
listen, any music is combat music if you try hard enough.
That's what I was telling him.
So,
I can smash Kelsey this. And I intend to. Send me this thing.
This is our
You guys-
Smashing Skulls theme song. Frolicking through
all
the
right,
skulls.
guys. All right.
Sorry.
So,
Greenhound.
yes,
For a
you were at the Greenhound Tavern.
That would be Greenhound.
It is called such for an oxidized copper statue of a dog on prominent display in the middle of the tavern floor.
Copper puppy.
You guys,
Sanding
you guys become pretty familiar faces around here over the past couple of days. Cassius, you've been here a little longer. Koski, you've essentially lived here.
The last couple of days.
Yeah.
It's got enough drink to satisfy your needs at least, and its beds don't have too many fleas.
Cool.
Extra protein.
As I walk over to you.
Do I already have booze? Like, have
Yes.
we already arrived? Okay. Are you like sitting next to me?
Yeah, I just, slide down into the bar stool next to me.
The last time I saw the kid that I was, beating,
Smash
I was-
cut.
cutting the head off of a bear. I don't know why he chose to fight me. I don't know why he wouldn't withdraw.
Well,
Questionable decision.
children, I guess? Not that I would know. Hey, listen. You're new to the area, right?
Yes,
A traveler, you would say?
something like this.
Have you considered, expanding the range in which you might be able to travel? Beautiful new 4-door boat. Fresh on the market.
There is not a vehicle I would want to be in less right now, to be honest.
Oh, sure, not now.
No boats.
Go find someone else to talk to.
Where are the doors, Val?
Where are the doors?
The hatches into the,
It's a hatch.
Go on the bottom.
hatchback.
Ooh, that's good.
Has all-wheel drive, which is to say none of them.
As you're walking away, Koski turns and goes, "Wait, where are you selling boats? We are inland.
Oh, no, they're not here.
I had to walk like 4 days to get here."
And that's why it's inconvenient, right?
Would you rather a boat?
How would a boat help with this?
Faster.
You should think
I
your
just
business.
walk away.
You should think your business plan through a little better.
I like to imagine Koski's just kind of chasing you down.
You bother.
Koski is just so confused.
I'm trying to talk to another person. And
I'm like accidentally totally destroying your sales pitch.
If only they had water.
Wait, is it your thing? Maybe if I had water
Yeah.
to sell them. It's like, that punk had a point.
Koski, there is one thing that you do notice about Cassius when they sat down. Or more of when they were fighting, I should say. Because you said you pulled out your gun, correct?
Oh, yeah, the normal one.
Yes. You still have no idea what those things are.
I've got 2 of them. One on each hip.
What are these funny wands you have?
Oh, these? Let's see. This one is a wand, and I will, I already have Mage Armor cast, but I don't need a spell.
But you hold it the wrong way.
That's the wand.
But you're holding it backwards. How does this wand work?
And then I take the actual gun out.
I shoot someone in the face.
Yeah, shoot someone in the air. Shoot in the air.
Yeah, I'm sure.
I'm sure the bar-
tavern
Well,
would love
I
that.
think we're in the bar.
Yep.
Yeah.
That
No,
doesn't stop
They're
people in the
like-
Wild West.
no. I'll shoot a glass off the table.
Oh, no.
So, as you fire the gun,
Whoa! My glass.
That was my beer.
Oh, what'd you say?
Yeah.
Days wages to get that.
oi! How many times do I have to tell you? Don't fire that thing in here.
All right.
One more time and I'm kicking you out.
What's going on your tab?
I just like slide over the gold. Can you break that for me? You can,
Consider it a tip.
I love this man.
Their magic is so loud. I dislike it more than even other magic.
Well, that one wasn't the. You know what? I'll have my friend.
Koski has never seen or encountered guns before, so I have fun teaching him.
Sounds good.
It's a very loud firebolt.
Well, there's nothing else you would wish to discuss.
Again, since
Well,
we're
at
both
least get another pint of that. The glass is not worth that much. Sure.
That's the 10th glass this week.
It's my favorite one. I had it anagram because they come here so often.
Koski's gonna move away from you because Koski doesn't like the magic that he thinks is magic, and sit down and try to just observe what's going on. Do I overhear anything? See anything?
Give me a perception check.
There are rumors about an elephant man obliterating this small child. It was great.
You said perception?
Yes.
12.
12. I mean, best you can tell, word is starting to spread of a death in the
Lopez O'Connor family.
Lorenta
Is that
family.
No.
That was such a
I'm just
dirty
gonna keep
mom stare.
Switching it up on you when
Wasn't
you're not
it?
looking.
You told me it was Lopez.
That's
I
the
don't know.
very last name.
Oh, I see.
Yeah,
so
that's what
I
he was going
glean
for the end.
no new information. I'm just hearing what I already know. That there's been a death.
You can't win.
I mean, there's. With a 12, yeah.
Okay.
Well, I'm gonna cut to probably the next day.
Next day. So, well,
How did we keep Caesar's body?
in a guest room.
I think Rennial would be keeping watch,
Okay.
essentially.
The door will be locked. If you wanted to keep
I'd
watch,
be
you could have a key.
inside.
Inside, okay. But yeah, the next day, Kyetana's kind of like looking around the house, and from like, for a moment, she like thinks back to times of just like children running around the house. It's a really big house, lots of rooms. She has 12 kids. She has some grandkids, and she's used to a full house with people always playing around, people getting hurt, people laughing, people yelling, just chaos, constant chaos every day is her normal, and she loves it. And today in the Dante family, very quiet. Most of the kids are all grown up, and it's a very solemn day because we've lost one of our own. We've got Elena, Lucrezia, and Anna just in the kitchen cooking food. There's been some instruments that have been brought out. No one's yet playing any music, but some of the boys are outside digging up a fresh grave next to Mateo. And it's very quiet. Kyetana and Estiano had a conversation last night, which was just Kyetana filling in on everything. Rennial, at first, tried to be part of the conversation, said a few things, and she would have brushed them away, and he would have spent the rest of their night in the room with Cesar.
Yeah.
From time to time, Marcelina would have came in, and I assume you would have made sure she was okay.
The entire time it'd be, I would let anyone who wants to see Caesar's body see the body.
Mm-hmm.
I won't tell them about what happened, but like, hand is on like my wooden sword, or like, maybe we have him like propped up or laying down like on the bed for him to look peaceful, but underneath the sheets he's like tied up again, because Rennial does not know what's happening. Like, maybe his mouth is like gagged, but like, you know, it's covered up, or like his mouth is closed. But like, Rennial is just making sure that people can grieve, but like he's just been like wired and upset the entire time.
In the war, what if bodies have ever been resurrected?
Like bring the dead back as
Well,
zombies or
Zombie, used as pawns, etc.
desperate situations, maybe.
Okay.
Usually it was on the other side.
Okay.
That was a more common tactic.
So you may have heard stories or rumors of this happening, but I don't feel like either one of us fully understood it.
I
So
wonder if it's one of those rumors that both sides are claiming that, only the other side was like resurrecting their soldiers, but like if we dig deep enough, the rumors for both. What about like regular resurrection? Like maybe like an important general got offed. There was a cleric next to them. Revivify. How common or uncommon is that?
So there is saving people from the dead, and then there's the animation of a
And that's-
cadaver,
okay.
which are
Necromantic.
two very different
That-
sources
that-
of
that-
necromancy.
Alright.
How often did revivify and things like that happen?
Revivify, raise dead. You'll find revivify more out on a battlefield. Usually it wasn't going to be every soldier, but an officer might have at least a diamond in their own bag as a, if killed, use.
Oh yeah, maybe the pips that you get as you rank up contain the components that you need to revivify you. So it's like right there.
But
Makes you dress uniform.
yeah, revivify was used. The higher level
Yeah, like resurrection.
resurrection style stuff, that's not used too often.
We had this one king that lived for like 200 years, but that's just a rumor.
Now, Element,
Yes.
you plan to seek out the family, correct?
Yes. First, I definitely would have consulted with
Papa?
yes, my dad.
Papa Opie?
Yes, Papa OP.
Papa.
Papa OP.
Also, because this is very weird. Don't know if there's a bigger problem, like the fact that this thing happened and then it was technically contagious. It's not the technically correct word for it, but contagious.
It's
I was bitten on the hand.
Yeah, actually, Rennial's keeps on that.
it's not it's not good, is it, Ellie?
No. You feeling alright?
Tired.
I like it.
Chris, I need you to keep talking to your dad because I love this.
Yeah, I love your voice.
I want to hear more pop up.
I want to hear him sing fire.
Suggestions? Do we care?
This is above my pay grade.
Festival's coming up.
How many people you say were with you?
Half dozen.
Half a dozen. Not counting dead ones.
Wow.
And you said there was them two out of towners in the group as well.
Yes.
Think they had anything to do with it?
Not
Whoa.
directly, but I think there's some value to maybe not telling a bunch of locals.
It's true. It's true. I see.
I think Corey can keep his mouth shut.
Wow.
We can enable it.
Lots of people dying by strokes today.
Stroke of my hand.
Good Lord.
Ellie, I want you to look into this.
Okay.
You said there was some magic involved. I don't want some rogue wizard running around causing trouble.
There are rogue wizards? Like,
Very
Two
inefficient
things at
sometimes.
once?
Yeah.
I think it's pretty cool.
Yeah, I've heard of some of them arcane, tricky folk. I don't like them.
We
What
can
is
multi-class,
happening?
right?
Well, Arcane Trickster, it's a rope.
Look,
alright. We'll
keep it quiet.
look into it. I think, yeah.
You said the family want to talk with you some more.
Yeah, I think they kind of expect investigation, something official.
Well, let's give them what they want. Let's see where this goes.
Alright. How fast do you want it done?
Faster the better. I don't want more bodies dropping.
And coming back up.
If you said it does spread, I don't want some
And kill anyone who
epidemic going through Blackwood.
Does this look infected to you?
Alright,
Keep me informed.
done.
And do keep an eye on those out of towners. I don't know if I trust them.
Alright. Think I'm fine, but alright.
Yeah, that's
So with that, yeah, next day I would be.
I'm getting very cats in the cradle vibes from this dynamic.
So I guess I have the next morning I'd be going out, not dressed in military official. This less official business. So just
What does
normal clothes.
normcore
Normcore? Yeah.
normcore element look like? Is it just
Oh, cashmere sweater, nice pants, slacks, noble clothes.
Cashmere sweater.
Noble.
Noble.
You still carry around the enabler.
Yeah, oh yeah,
Always. Got it.
yeah. It kind of like tucks away.
Yo, does the
Like all
mall?
weapons do.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Like it's right under, like the cashmere sweater wrapped around his neck just drapes over that.
yeah.
Sure.
It's a collapsible enabler.
Oh,
It's a statement piece
It's a
for
sta-
sure. The statement is, do you know who my dad is?
So you're coming to my house?
I have a shopping list of people. I don't exactly know where to find this Koski or Cassius. I don't know if there are rumors around. If I would know to like,
Bar is
Check
always
the
the best
inns.
place to look for
yeah.
someone who knows where someone is.
Is that on the way to the farm?
Yeah, it's kind of the middle of town.
Then yeah, I'd probably stop first.
What time of day is it?
We're cutting to the morning of the.
I'd be trying to
Day
get out
after.
pretty,
The Laurentes will be more
like not crack of dawn, but
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
like 8 in the morning.
can I ask a question about the? We do have like a person who deals with like the legal like laws. We have Talsir, right? Who is? Should he be contacted? Do you care? Does that a thing that you guys talk about? I don't know how it works.
we
'Cause
have
I'm
a
just a kid.
constable.
Yeah,
I'm pretty sure I pay
I think it's
them.
Captain Talsir. And shouldn't he be like?
It's just
Yes, there is a captain.
Yeah,
He works for him.
yeah, I know. So shouldn't you
Yeah.
like give him the work? Why are you going on? I don't know.
okay. Hush hush. You know.
Cool.
Mm.
You don't trust the captain? You're
I bribed the captain. Of course I don't trust.
fair. Fair enough.
Wow.
So yes, I just wanted to know for the. I'm an audience number 2. You know?
But yeah, going to the tavern. How much did either of your characters drink last night?
It's 7 in the. Is it 7 in the morning? It's early.
7, 8 in the
Yeah,
morning.
that
Oh,
means he
Koski's up and
hasn't stopped.
drinking already.
Yeah, he hasn't stopped drinking.
I don't know. I didn't get any more after I shot the glass because
That's
that was
fair.
my gold.
He didn't get sloppy, but he woke up early and started drinking right away.
Hair of the dog
Well-
that bit you.
You would definitely see Koski just at a table as soon as you open the door. And Cassius would probably be coming down from their room.
Yeah, I guess so.
So both of you then?
You would see both of them as you're walking in.
Yeah, mission accomplished.
This is easy. Venturing's easy. How's it going?
It's alright. See, I did
You-
that both in and out of character.
You
Oh no.
Nice.
doing some memory practice. You don't work for me.
No. I'm not from here.
Yeah.
You
For
should
the-
probably know who you employ, though.
Sometimes it's better if you don't.
I don't know, you seem like nobility of some kind. You should probably know who's underneath you.
By the cashmere spider.
Yeah. Everyone.
Everyone's underneath me.
Do you want to work for me?
No.
Please.
Would you reconsider?
What is in it for Koski?
Money.
Maybe.
Oh, that was easy.
Money. I will walk down the stairs. There's a toothbrush in my mouth. I am not brushing it. My teeth are being brushed anyway. This is
Wait,
not my
it's a
choice.
floating toothbrush, or
Or I'm doing a really cool trick
Sure.
with pretend.
I'm getting very codependent vibes.
Oh, really?
I'm okay with it.
Very flexible
It's-
lips.
Relationship goals.
Well,
Or just let.
I know I started drinking early, but there's nothing touching that toothbrush, correct?
oh, the mouth.
Take it. Anyway,
that, see, that could be useful.
money.
There are lots of tools.
Toothbrushes? They are very useful.
See,
Gingivitis.
what
causes
would
tooth
it
decay.
take for you to work for me, or my family? Don't alongside me.
Currently, I do not answer to anyone. I do not wish to answer to you.
You're not
I
from
will
here.
help, but I will not answer to you.
Now this is like an 8-foot towering minotaur.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, Element is very much. I need this for all of the family business.
I
This is-
imagine,
we need this for the other side of the family business, not this investigation.
I imagine you're sitting at the bar and you're still looking at that.
I am very much looking up, like, Done.
Okay.
Okay, no.
The hand just didn't feel. I assume, like, it's completely.
This is like a
engulfed.
Shaquille O'Neal, like.
yeah. Yes. You heard money.
I did.
You were the one selling boats in our severely landlocked town.
That's why you get the discount. You go pick it up in the other town.
Does it come with the trailer?
I don't need a trailer. It already moves. It's a boat.
I don't have water from here to there.
Are you looking to buy a boat?
Have you managed to sell a boat to anybody in a landlocked town?
Have I? Kidding. Yes.
You had to ask.
Several.
You probably sold one to me, honestly.
I want to see if this. Yeah. Can
Give
we?
me an insight check.
Yeah.
Give me a deception check.
Let's do it.
Absolutely.
I want to believe this.
I did lease a boat to this green kid.
Yeah.
Oh, that was
You
comfortable.
didn't give me any money, but
Ooh, IOUs.
you said he was good for it.
Dirty
11.
20. But you're trying.
Of course I am. Proud of these boats. They're a steal.
Do you actually have boats?
He has the deeds to some boats that are probably now ash in another city that I'm forgetting the name of.
I believe that
My
is
beautiful city. Lived there 20 years.
Marsix.
Marsix.
Oh. Oh.
Uh-oh.
You two both have the unique position of not being from here right now. And with everything we saw yesterday, we would like to not inform the locality.
How
Who
much?
is we? Is we like the royal we? Or
Yes, I am royal we.
Huh.
By request of the Baron.
How much is the Baron paying?
Well,
I think we can arrange that.
and we're trying to get to the bottom of it without alarming too many people. Can I employ your help?
Don't see why not.
as long as I'm getting paid, this is fun.
It's my arrangement with many people.
And you cover my tab. Wherever.
Oh,
you go.
pay this nice man for the glasses.
Do I know this man? How well do I know
Your
this
family
man?
owns this building.
Yeah.
You know them in his quarry, though. Yeah.
I act like this is a big deal. Like, I hem and haw a little bit.
Oh,
Fine.
And then Koski adds, in every town we go to.
We'll see.
Sometimes we're pretty
I
expensive.
don't own many towns. Like 1 and 2 halves.
1 and 2 halves. So 2.
Not directly.
Okay.
3 locations.
Yeah, the marriage didn't go through, so we're only half counting that one.
And then if the current round is done, try to get everyone to depart towards the farm.
Who's everyone? Oh gosh.
So,
Knock, knock.
yeah. Kyetana at your door.
Well, everyone would be in the backyard.
Yeah.
So,
Oh, I'm knocking anyway. I did not check.
So, basically, you would hear like music and stuff coming from the backyard.
Yeah,
No
while
one's
you're
answering the
knocking,
door.
Koski goes, I think they're out that way where the music is
That's why
coming
you get the
from.
big bucks. Walk around.
So, as you guys walk around, you would see the 2 graves that I had mentioned. There's currently the open grave that Cesar has not been yet let down into. And then there's another grave that has a tree coming out of it. And there's some dog tags hanging off one of the branches. And there's a stone just basically saying Mateo Lorente, here lies, and then there's some words there. All the families here, including Dante and whatever friends of Cesar, are all present. Some people are playing some music. There is food from the table, and currently Cesar is on the ground. There's flowers around him. He's kind of like a stretcher, but not exactly, just like something that they can lower him down. But his body is definitely dressed up, and he's been cleaned, and there's just people back, just kind of mourning. And you guys would have walked in at the very, like, Marcelina just kind of saying some words, and she had just finished speaking. There's a family dog, and the kids are currently...
What's that dog doing?
Huh? They're currently clutching the dog, even though the dog is small in comparison to the Fentari, but yeah, it's just what you would normally expect.
Yeah.
People are preparing to lower Cesar into the ground and then complete his burial, but I would see you guys coming and just walk up to you. My arms would be crossed, and I would look at you and just say, I expected you last night. This is supposed to be friends and family only, but there's something... I need to know what information you may have. Why are they here? I'd say at Koski and Cassius.
Money.
No, these are
There's
friends and
financial
family.
gain of my son's death.
No, from him. Honestly, I don't care about yourself.
Ooh, okay. Oof. tact, not on the skill list. Tons of other benefits though. This is still good.
Oh, this is going to be such a fun party to keep together.
Apologies.
Good luck.
Also, the investigation couldn't start without a crack team of investigators. You know?
You and your father run a whole town, and you don't have a single person to investigate.
Listen,
He
My
needed
son's
muscle
murdered.
because he is squishy boy.
yeah.
You
yeah,
should have
look
higher
at-
muscle. Is this the first?
Look at
Me and
what's
my
happening.
15 hit points stand over here.
So many people in this town.
Is this the first death that's been investigated in this town?
We normally look the other way a lot of times. Yeah.
So mad.
is there food being served?
The entire family starts to like just get up and just.
Rennial is
High
like
time.
making sure you guys have food.
There aren't very often suspicious deaths here.
Well.
At least ones that are reported.
And that's
There still should be someone on staff, like a police officer who could,
Like a captain, maybe.
Let her
like a
have her mom
captain who
moment.
could investigate, not two randos from another town and
Look,
the
look.
Baron's son.
I have an explanation. Please hear me out. I understand, and this is a terrible time for you and your family.
Are you guys just sticking with the
I-
rest of the family?
I know. I'm like,
following
making
them.
sure like you do party favors. It's like, you get a platter of like hors d'oeuvres
Party
and something you drink.
favors.
Here's a drink.
This is a
we
funeral.
yeah, it's a funeral. You said there was food.
There's food.
Yeah, I'll
I-
say
I'm-
if you manage to get Koski shoving things in his mouth, he will stop saying
Harassing them.
There are
tactless things.
Like, but Rennial specifically like.
But he's not
Creating
gonna
an
take it
excuse.
without you
Yeah.
saying so because I'm working right now.
Excuse for.
This is a much more casual arrangement. This is fun. You don't answer to me, remember?
Do you have liquor?
So you grab a
Probably.
casual
Yes.
arrangement to investigate my son's death?
Negotiations are important. It is crucial right now that we get to the bottom of this without needlessly scaring the whole town. And that's what we're trying to avoid. So we took some, yes, admittedly out-of-towners, but they had skills that helped us yesterday.
So you keep secrets from the entire town.
You're
and-
getting it. For their betterment of them.
I know that we are in need of money, but I don't think that playing investigator is really the correct choice. It's fine. It's fine. We are skilled at.
How audible is that?
Yeah. Is
Excuse
Is there
me,
a
I'm gonna-
disembodied voice?
Sarah,
With
is there a bathroom?
Oh,
There's more than
right
one.
up there.
with a mouthful of food and drink, Koski is going to I'm not shoving food in my mouth and doing this, but Koski is gonna just go. I have been in other places. Nobility is always like this. This is just how they are.
Corrupt and unjust, I agree.
Wow.
Wow.
Yeah.
See, we're on the same page now. I'm just getting paid by the corrupt and unjust.
You're
Do you
welcome.
have any information on my son's death or not?
Not yet. But we're optimistic, and what I was hoping for, it would be a huge help if I could have a family member join the investigation, since they're going to have a ton of information we're not going to already have.
Throws the deviled
I'm-
eggs over your.
Yeah, I'm already like
And
strapped
yeah,
up.
I saw your son here in the arena yesterday, and they handled themselves with
Did
the
they?
zombie
Did they?
situation.
Oh,
With the
it's
zombie
that.
situation. But they took a beating in the arena. Not many people could have stood up after that. You gotta hand it to
This
them.
is
So I lose one son, and you expect me to put another one in danger.
No, they'll muscle. Pointing to the 8-foot-tall Minotaur.
Mom, I want to help.
Magic. Nobility. Powers unite.
magic with backwards wands is amazing.
Here arguing.
They're
from
also
upstairs.
really good at shooting glasses. I had to replace 10 of them.
Do you believe them?
Do I believe what? That,
I'm just pointing. I'm just.
oh, you're saying
I
that?
say in Spanish. So,
What's his kid saying?
Well, it's this class.
Is this
Uh,
yours?
In a sense, yes. He has a father, but he's also mine in some ways. He's part of the family.
On my own, actually.
I also answer to no one.
Great.
Surrounded by incompetence.
I could.
She doesn't know that.
Nah, it's okay. Zone de la Verdad. I can make sure it's the truth.
Why is this kid saying things like he knows things?
You kids shouldn't get yourselves involved in this situation. I also don't trust these two outsiders, but
But I love being in situations.
It's where all the
whatever
action happens.
I can do to help with the investigation of my son's death. And Rennial, I just want to keep you out of danger. But if you must, you're the only one who says I'd like that. And there's something more that's going on here. And I think we don't have a better choice than to trust these people.
And so this might be the first time like you've ever given Rennial some kind of agency, and he's just like, all right,
Totally.
I'll give you permission. You give me permission, essentially. And just like, soldier salute.
Dante, I don't think I have full permission to put you in danger's way, but you're welcome to help with the investigation unless things take a turn. Then you're both out.
It's impossible for me to be in danger. I'll tell you right now.
Oh my god.
Right, because I'll keep him safe, Mom.
Absolutely impossible.
Package deal thing?
You said
Sorry?
people saw him. Where did they find Caesar? You did mention other people saw him drop dead. Maybe
All right.
there was...
We're doing
Right.
the team assembly
Yeah.
and then the investigation.
This is it.
Step 1, step 2. Okay.
This is...
Where does the investigation start?
When does the investigation start?
Look at the sun, look at the funeral.
Oh, yeah.
When's this over? Not to rush.
Right, now we want...
Not rushing.
I actually want to get started as soon as possible.
Let me finish burying my son. And then,
I guess.
Dante and Kyetana.
yeah.
It is while you are saying this,
Come on.
I'm so tired already.
you feel a bit of a rumble beneath your feet. And it stops, but you both notice the fields around the farmhouse. You see two bulges beneath the earth as if something is digging. Something large.
Probably lock eyes with.
I wouldn't have my armor on, but I would have my weapon outside to grab. I would look at you
I noticed it too.
and just say quietly, be on guard to everyone, and I would go to grab my weapon.
If I see you going for weapons, Mom, should we get everybody in the
Inside.
house?
Yeah, I think that's what I was going to do.
So I'll go with
First things
Dante.
first, I would
Yeah.
definitely be like inside. Not to cause panic or anything, just like, all right, it's time to go inside.
Any of you feel
Oh, I come down from the bathroom.
Right, you stay in there.
Are the mounds that are climbing through the door, are they coming in our direction?
They seem to be almost circling the house.
Yeah, definitely. Definitely all the
yeah.
family inside.
So I would grab my weapons, you guys would be getting the family inside. What are the rest doing?
I haven't noticed anything. Did
I-
you?
Well, I
Yeah.
see you grab your
Oh, yeah.
weapon. I'll grab my weapon.
Well, I said be on guard to everyone, and
Yeah.
I would have gestured in the direction of the mounds.
And I'll say in undercommon, Mom, what is it? Because we both know that.
Because we both know that.
I would have just gestured again to the same thing that I gestured everyone.
Once
towards.
it's gestured out, you are all able to pick up on, oh, there's something underground moving, and you can see the earth being displaced over it.
Family's
Then-
not having the best luck.
So getting the family in, dog.
You
inside.
notice that they both kind of diverge from the house. Both seem to be making their way towards the graves.
Oh no. Okay, yeah. Rennial is gonna just like run up, wooden sword.
Major armor.
I cast.
That's a lot.
I cast bless.
And bursting out of the ground are 2 giant insects.
Ankhegs.
They chitter and screech,
Chittering screechers.
and
Classic.
a very acrid scent comes from their direction. But I think that's where we're going to pick up next week.
What?
I cast bless. I did it already. Can't take it back.
I feel blessed.
If you liked the stream, please follow and sub. It's always appreciated.
Oh my gosh.
If you're new, you can find our upload for this episode will be coming out Sunday
You got this.
Oh,
The 11th.
It's
the
the
11th. There it is. Yep.
The near future.
Yes. Sunday the 11th
Sunday the
of
next one.
September. As always, thank you to Tabletop Gaming Center for sponsoring and helping us to produce the show, as well as to Travis Savoy for all of the amazing music you've heard tonight. If you want to check out the playtest material, is still up? No?
You'll have
Sorry.
to wait.
You have to wait and see.
Yeah. You just have to,
Keep watching, keep up to date.
exactly, keep an ear out.
It's up to Ryan if we release more, but right now, we're not.
Whoa. Put
If
it
you,
on the DM.
if you come in store and look for me, I'll probably forward it to you.
We can all be.
Yeah, just
bribed.
DM me. I'll
Just like, I know a guy.
Yeah.
So my
Anyways,
Venmo.
we appreciate all of our viewers. Thank you all for watching. Thank you all for joining us tonight.
Love you guys.
We look forward to seeing you again next week, but until then, game on. Have a good night, everyone. And welcome back.